Who is Sarah Daniels? Sarah Daniels is number seven of 11. Sarah was born, why am I talking about myself in the third person? I was born south side of Chicago. I am what you refer to as a project baby. So I was born in Stateway Gardens, which is, for anybody who's been to a Sox game here in the city, there used to be these huge, tall, high-rise buildings called Stateway Gardens that I was born, me and my 10 siblings. I am a product of a married couple. My mom is deaf. She was born deaf. She and my dad met at 16 and had 11 kids together. We are all a year apart. So that's the first thing that I think always take people by surprise, right? They're always like, oh my gosh, you have 10 siblings and y'all all got the same mom and daddy? Yes. As a child growing up, that was a little bit difficult. It was difficult because I always saw my other friends really getting to know their mom in a different way, and they were able to communicate verbally with their mom, but I had to sign. So yes, I grew up learning sign language. My dad set me and my siblings down after school every day to teach us how to sign. And what that did for me, as you all can probably imagine, that was a struggle, being a project baby and being a product, one of 11 kids financially, and having parents who had their first child at 16, 17. You can understand the psychological toll that mentally that could take on someone. Now I'm 31, so of course now I'm going through a lot of these things and understanding just the reality of that situation and how that's translated in many different ways over the years. So product of public school, public/charter, but some would say, what's the difference, right? What's the difference between a public and a charter school? But I grew up going to public school, and I just remember being a part of a community, a real community growing up. So although I grew up around drugs and people selling drugs under our building, and we can go into the historical reason as to why that was, we understand that that was intentionally created. The projects were exactly what they were intended for. They did exactly what they were intended to do. So you have all of these people in this community, and then you snatch this community away from them so that you can build better, whatever, it's gentrification. So I grew up just thinking this little community that I grew up in the projects was like, that was all of Chicago. I thought that was all of Chicago. I had a school, I had stores nearby. It was just, I did not know Chicago was as big as it was, probably until third or fourth grade. So I grew up in the choir, grew up in church, both choir and church and at school. So I would go Christmas caroling every year. But it's almost weird because I grew up with a set group of friends. We were forced to just be with each other, whoever was born in that community, whatever. So, I mean, it's no different than a neighborhood. If you were born in a neighborhood and you went to a school, whatever. That's the first thing that I have been grappling with, trying to understand what it means to me, and what did God intend for this to mean to me, to bless me with 10 siblings. And out of those 10 siblings, let's unpack it a little bit further. There are 9 girls and only 2 boys. So you can imagine just how catty, loud. I grew up projecting my voice a lot, and people always would have to tell me, Sarah, bring it down a little bit. That was because me and my sisters were always fighting to be heard, fighting to talk over each other. So that's something I've learned to manage now. So that's in a nutshell my upbringing. And me and my siblings grew up being the smart kids, being the kids who either was valedictorian, salutatorian. Mine, I was not valedictorian or salutatorian. I was a horrible test taker. So that's a story for another time, where I was valedictorian, but it was taken away from me. But we're not gonna go there in this episode. So I just want to share that piece, because it really is a staple, and it really does lay out the foundation of how I got here and why I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, right? So I'm excited to unpack some more. But tell me, what are some topics that you all would like for me to talk about as it relates to understanding what part of storytelling? God, family, relationships are going to be probably the top three. Career and job, all of that will be sprinkled just because I believe that God, family, and relationships are really the main characters of your life, right? So those are things that really do matter, things that really, not to say that your job doesn't matter, but I'm talking about longevity, consistency. God isn't going to go anywhere. You'll always have a piece of your family. Your relationships that you intentionally create are what can make or break everything else. So I'm big on talking about friendships, and I'm gonna get into some very personal friendship dynamics and just understanding what friendship heartbreak, normalizing it, what it really means. And to me, the revelation that I got about understanding why I repeatedly went through friendship breakups, but I know that may even seem like a lot. I got 10 siblings, a deaf mama, and you was born in the projects. And so as we continue to unpack and dissect this, you all will understand just how I became to be the woman that I am. And yeah, till next time. Thank you for watching, and make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow me on my socials on TikTok and Instagram. I am Sarah Daniels. And then my Threads is connected to my Instagram, but Facebook, Sarah Daniels, even though Facebook, I'll probably just be sharing this on Facebook, but TikTok, Instagram, those are like go-to. I'm excited for you all to